If a packet hits a pocket on a socket on a port, and the bus is interrupted at a very last resort, and the access of the memory makes your floppy disk abort, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report. If your cursor finds a menu item followed by a dash, and the double-clicking icon puts your window in the trash, and your data is corrupted because the index doesn't hash, then your situation's hopeless and your system's gonna crash.
Okay, come on, Renee. We're supposed to be working on our presentation for the board, not reading Dr. Seuss. We're going to get in trouble.
Paul calls us double trouble all the time anyway. Okay, I'll be serious. Let's write our speech.
You don't need to write a speech. Let's make a video.
Okay.
Studies show that an audience really doesn't need you to be there to listen to the information that you want to present. They can watch a video, and if need be, they can rewind it and watch it over and over again. You're right.
You're always right. They really just need us to be there to answer their questions and then help to incorporate what we've learned into the district.
It would be like modeling for a classroom.
Well, that's a really good idea, Teresa. You are so smart. So, what do you want to put into our video?
Well, maybe we should talk first about what we took away from the conference. That's what Cindy asked us to report to the board.
Why didn't I think about that? Okay. Well, it's a really good thing that we met with Paul, Steve, and David before we went to the conference to plan out which sessions we would attend. And I really liked my breakout sessions, but what resonated with me most were the messages from the keynote speakers and the questions that they asked. What keeps you up at night and what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Did you figure that out?
Well, a year ago, my answer to those questions would have been completely different. Today, witnessing the frustrations of teachers trying to meet the needs of such diverse learners is what keeps me up at night. Believing that I am part of a team that has the knowledge and tools to help accomplish that task is what gets me out of bed in the morning. So what were your highlights from the conference? Teresa, now you're the one who's going to get us into trouble. I did not get any. I was known as the Reverend on this trip, thanks to David.
Seriously. I chose sessions that focused on professional development, teacher training, and support, and have been preparing to support teachers in their content, putting their content online for students in Toma for the past 3 years. The sessions I attended gave good advice as to how to accomplish this.
I also went to several sessions with the same focus, but you know me, I had to fit in at least one with a science emphasis, another demonstrated some portfolio software, and a couple talked about how to actually go about creating a blended and online curriculum.
There was so much information to take away. I don't know about you, but I left feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I know we're headed in the right direction with the technology plan.
I know exactly how you feel. It was like trying to get a drink from a fire hydrant. Right, Paul? I overheard so many people at the conference talk about their frustrations and concerns of not having a learning management system and a student management system that would interface and work together.
And we are very fortunate to have Infinity and Exam work seamlessly together to take care of both of these needs.
You know, I really didn't realize how unique the software was and that we're the only school in the nation to have this ability. I'm really excited to know that it also has the ability to continue to grow and develop into whatever we dream of.
Didn't you put that in your conference reflection to Paul?
Yeah. Do you remember the conversation that we had with him about adaptive software and how we needed to be thinking about how to make student learning drive the needs?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Well, he and I tossed around some ideas back and forth, and we came up with a tentative plan. It's on my computer. Do you want to see it?
Of course.
All right, let's go take a look.
Well, this is one way to set up a module or a unit. At the beginning of each unit, students would take a pre-assessment that would ultimately match up to the lesson objectives. Depending upon their outcome, they would be routed to the appropriate lesson or lessons they need to complete, based on their pre-assessment scores. Once directed to a lesson, students would then take different pathways to their final destination. Say a student scores poorly on the entire pre-assessment and it is apparent that they need to work in all 5 areas. They would be routed to lesson number 1. However, if they scored proficient in lesson 1, but poorly in any of the other lessons, they would be routed in that direction. We'll use lesson number 1 as our example. The teacher would put out as many different resources to support this lesson as possible, and the student could go through those resources as he or she saw fit, and at any time they could go back and retake the exam assessment that supported that lesson. There would need to be multiple versions of this same test. If they scored proficient, they would then go on to the next lesson as deemed by their pre-assessment. Resources could also be tracked based on pre-assessment scores. Students scoring below a certain score could be taken to remedial resources first. Students taken to enrichment resources would have already performed at proficient levels. There's not enough room on this slide to illustrate 3 different tracks or resources, so I only put on 2. But in essence, it shows how the curriculum can adapt to the student's learning needs.
We already have a good start to adapting the software and providing professional development. As of last summer, we have 12 teachers who completed the online teaching certification required by DPI. After returning from the conference, I added new resources to the online teacher certification page on the district website. Renee and I also started to look at math software to use in learning labs. As a team, we feel we have to provide a lot of professional development and support for teachers. One proposed idea is to develop a PLC for online teachers to discuss successes, struggles, and best practices for online learning. As technology integration specialists, we feel this will be our primary role within this process. Again, we would like to thank you for the remarkable opportunity to attend the Virtual School Symposium in New Orleans. We welcome any questions you have at this time. Thank you.